but mostly excited to introduce Sarah Palin.
So much. I'm just so honored to get to be here. I cannot even tell you. And I would like to thank so much Mr. Anderson and the school board members and faculty and families of Republic for allowing me to be here. You are bold. You're very bold to have extended the invitation. And congratulations to the Republic Tigers class of 2013. Congratulations. Today, we're driving around. First yard we see there's a snow machine in the yard. I'm like, Todd, we're home. There's a pro snow machiner. Next yard we drive up to, we don't have deer in our part of the world up there, but we see 2 deer in somebody's yard. And I look at Todd, I'm like, dinner. Yeah. So Heather, I hear you could give us a lesson. And then we see guys out there fossil hunting. That's pretty cool too. We do that up north. But, and then we hear some stories about some of these students. Some things that kind of sound similar to what it is that we would be doing way up north in the last frontier. And I hear the slush cup competition that one of you may have participated in that, in a Speedo. Okay. Not that I've ever been in a Speedo slushing down the mountain, but that sounds like something an Alaskan kid would do. But it is, I can't tell you what an honor it is to be here. It's a thrill for us. And I'm glad that there are only 26 of you, because I wanted to bring you guys some presents. And had there been any more, we'd be incurring debt as fast as Congress incurs debt, bringing you the gifts. But we've got a couple of things for you. You'll receive those afterwards. The first gift, though, is, it looks like on the program that, aside from the slideshow that we'll get to watch, the only thing standing between you and that diploma, which is your ticket into the real world of work, that diploma. The only thing standing between you and that is me, so I'll keep this short. That's your first gift. Second, yes, Todd and I brought you some goodies from Alaska. And by the time you get your bag, you'll already have your diploma, so I don't think you can get kicked off campus if anything is deemed politically incorrect, because 1 or 2 items will be. And then finally for the students, another gift. They're going to have to work for this one, though. It's under their seat. You're going to have to get up. You're going to have to work for this gift. Look under your seat, and you're going to find something there. You're going to learn a lesson. Get up. Look under your seat. You got a gift under there. I thieved this idea from Wasilla High School's graduation. Okay. Now there are 2 life lessons to this dollar that they found taped underneath their seat. The first one is, you gotta get off your butt to make a buck. For it. And I want them to take this the right way, but I would hope that that's the last dollar that someone just hands them, just gives to them. Because anything that is worth getting in life, anything that they really want, it only comes with hard work. So graduates, your destiny, that for which you were uniquely created and you are equipped, you can reach it. Dreams really do come true, but you have to have the courage, the perseverance, and especially the work ethic to find it. Hard work and courage and perseverance, those are the American values that built this most exceptional country. And that is what carved a nation out of the wilderness. And that's how this town was built. And the heart of America is good small towns just like this one. My hometown, it's much like Republic too. It's beautiful as is this town. that's tucked between mountain ranges, maybe far from the avenues of power, but close in heart to what really matters. And my roots, they run deep in this part of the country too, the majestic Northwest. My dad grew up in Sandpoint, Idaho. My mom in the neighboring Tri-Cities. My dad had graduated from Eastern Washington. I was glad to hear a couple students had it. I'm a UI Vandal. We have family throughout this area in bountiful, beautiful towns like Omak. And Todd's dad grew up in this neck of the woods. He and his dad, they used to go deer hunting, as a matter of fact. I don't know if they bagged any on anybody's front porch like we saw today, but they would deer hunt in the Brewster and Okanagan and Pateros areas. So my grandfather, Clem Sheeran, in Richland, Washington, he was a labor rep who spent his life fighting for the rights of land. We shared a love for sports, such a passion for sports. And we shared a love for a particular movie. It's called Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. Our favorite scene is when Senator Smith, he has his famous filibuster, remember, in the nation's capital? And he reads out the words in this speech of our Declaration of Independence. He says, behind those words are a little bit of plain, ordinary, everyday kindness, and a little looking out for the other fella, too. Looking out for the other fellow, that's an American value. I want to tell you a little story about that. Back in 1964, there was a poor young school teacher with a wife and 3 little kids. The oldest was 2. The youngest was just a 3-month-old baby girl. The teacher had a dream. He wanted to make a good life. He wanted a life of adventure and of service. And his dream was to move to Alaska, which is being America's last frontier. But it was such a risky endeavor back then. Rough and tough Alaska, it had just become a state. It had just suffered through this devastating world record earthquake, 9.2 on the Richter scale. It was literally a rockin' wild last frontier. The family did not have much money at all, but never afraid of hard work. They took a chance, knowing that, like the motto today of this class, you only live once. You know, life is not a dress rehearsal. They were going to live life vibrantly. They were going to find that path, that plan, laid out for them providentially. The teacher sent his wife and 3 babies ahead of him to Skagway, Alaska, which is a little tiny gold mining town. He'd drive up then his old Ford station wagon, a big old ugly brown station wagon. It was jam-packed with his worldly possessions, a crib, some fishing poles, and a gun. He was probably one of those early bitter clingers holding on to his God, his guns, and his Constitution. But on the drive, this guy's car broke down. He was out in the middle of nowhere. He was stuck. Remember back in the day, they had no cell phones. He couldn't call for help. The best that he could do was just kind of jerry-rig this piecer together and just pray that he could crawl into the next town because he had to find a mechanic. And he feared at the time, really, that he was doomed, that this big repair job, it was going to cost hundreds of dollars, which was way more than he had. And it looked like the man's dream was over before it began. Maybe he thought a moment of doubt, maybe it just wasn't meant to be because of these obstacles in the road. But he did make it to that next town, little tiny, and he found a mechanic. And then he waited, and he waited, and he waited all day in the little town's local diner. And he got to know the very, very nice people of the town. And they were so gracious to him as he told them about the life that he hoped to live in Alaska. All the while, of course, worrying what it was going to do when the bill came due. Finally, the bill came. And 49 years ago, this very week, that school teacher got a lesson in the plain, ordinary, everyday kindness that small-town America is all about. For all those repairs on that old Ford, that local mechanic charged him just $10. And then the nice townspeople, they sent him on his way north to follow his dream. And his compass was pointed due north, true north. That school teacher was my dad, Mr. Heath. And that small town was your small town. It was Republic, Washington. That mechanic was a guy named Mr. Carter, and my dad has never forgotten him, nor the kindness shown by this town. You got us on our path towards destiny. So, beginning many months ago, when a few invitations made their way to me, so I was traveling around the nation. I start hearing from this school, thank you so much, Tyler, and your tenacity. And finally, an invitation with a very clever and enthusiastic internet picture of some of you asking if I could come here. I said, oh, yes, Tyler, yes. Republic, Washington, yes. It would be my pleasure to be here. Of course, some of the Politico players, the power players in the Beltway, they obviously had to scratch their heads and kind of got all wee-weed up saying, why is Palin at a small high school graduation? What's she up to? She's going rogue again. And then some of that obligatory, pretty snarky, big city newspaper blog stories, well, that started kind of cranking up and cranking out some ink that seemed to be written by some petty, troubled reporters who would belittle small-town America and those who wish to honor and respect what it is that you all stand for. That tisk-tisking from the rest of media. Well, it was expected because they just don't get it. I am here because this town is special. Shoot, I think your name is even providential, as significant as prophetic. I do. So this is my message to the high and mighty who would degrade the heart of America, and my message to you good folks. This town of Republic might be just a small corner of a great American republic, but it is big. It is big on the values that built this great country. Class of 2013, don't ever forget your Republic roots. Those values of hard work and perseverance and courage and plain, ordinary, everyday kindness that'll see you through your entire life. And obviously, you all embody those characteristics mentioned. And, I tried to follow some of those inside jokes you guys were all telling about Tyler getting caught in the Catholic Church and Walrus and some of the... But you can feel that bond, that friendship, that caring that these students can take with them and help spread to the rest of the community, to the rest of the state, to the rest of the nation, to the rest of the world. They learn that in small town America. Your town exemplifies all that is right about our great country. And that is why I am here to thank you for that. Yes, they will sustain you as they have sustained our nation, and our future relies on these youth having those values. It's not government, and it's not the media that will sustain. Heck, the problem. These kids will be the solution. They will be the solution to what it is that our country faces in the future, in the coming months. Many of these students, they're going to travel far from home, some going to tech school, some going off to college, studying medicine and engineering, and one of you, I hear, plans to see your name in lights on Broadway. And I say, break a leg, sister, right on. A couple will be joining the military to serve something greater than self, and I thank them for that. America's finest, our United States military. Parents and students, if you love your freedom, you thank a military vet, and I would ask all who have served or are serving or planning to serve, please stand up and we salute you and we say, God bless you. Thank you. May you wear uniform with honor. And always know that a grateful nation values your commitment to defend our freedom and all our constitutional rights. And thank you, Tyler, for that essay on defending the Second Amendment right, especially. Thank you. Wherever you go, whatever you do, Tigers, moving far or continuing to grow roots here with family, with local businesses, always be proud of where you came from. Always be proud of what your parents and teachers taught you. What they taught you is their gift to you, and what you do with it is your gift to them. Thank you for all you stand for. Personally, again, thank you for all that you've done for my family. You helped a poor school teacher and a coach make his way to an exciting and unbelievable life in Alaska, where his 3-month-old baby girl grew up to be governor, and then was invited back to a place where it began. And now you know the rest of the story. Students, so there is a perfect path, there is a plan, and it's been orchestrated, ordained by your Creator for you. Bumps in the road, yes, but hard work and with that tenacity, with that perseverance, with that courage, with that work ethic, you can travel it. And with kindness, always looking out for the other fellow too. It's been ordained for you. I so look forward to seeing what you Republic graduates do for our great American Republic. Say, God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.